Uh, I was talking for like 30 seconds before I clicked the go live button. All right. Hi, guys. How's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, for new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dachi. Hello, Dachi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We have a couple of things to go over today. Oh, also, Raythax.dth domain name, and this is not financial advice. A couple of things going on today. We have in like 25 minutes, we have the Discord AMA. That's not necessarily an AMA. That's just like a workshop that they're doing, and the workshop is just going to be them saying, "Hey, we have these updates that we can go over. We have these updates that are coming out. But what are some questions or some ideas from the community?" Now they do have like a panel. They've had a list of people already. I forget what it was called, where they go on and they pretty much get suggestions for. I think Delargo was in it. I think Hello K was in it. I think a couple of other people were in it. Just kind of like a think tank almost. And maybe this is some of those ideas coming out. Maybe there's some other thing. They might have to address one or two things that happened in the AMA. Alex did go and address that in a Twitter space before from the community update. Let me go and do a couple of these things here. But first, before I do that, let me go to the YouTube on my telefono and ask everyone to smash that like button as a free way to help support the channel. Let's see what we got here. Let's see all the updates that I did over on the Twitter, and then we'll come at you. Okay, so the first things first. Before we kind of really knew what was happening, I saw over on Instagram that Veve had posted 9 new photos, and they're talking about collectors at heart. I wasn't 100% sure what that was really about. And then when you went, and by the way, if you haven't updated your app, go and update that right now. If you go and update your app, I haven't found anything in the app after the update. According to the team, they are still on track with doing new lines of code supposed to be every 2 weeks, but actually they confirmed that it was actually every 10 days they're introducing new lines of code, new things, new updates. That being said, once they do that, it does go to Google and it does go to iPhone, and then based on their backlog, they can determine when that is going to be revealed, when that's going to be out. So you have some updates. I think the iPhone was behind because this is the second update that Android has had in the last 3 weeks or the last month. So I think this is only the first time that this second update for Android. I think iPhone only has one. But again, I haven't really seen anything out. The search bar did improve. The search bar was something that I saw that, okay, you can actually search for stuff and you can get comics, you can get whatever. It's the only thing that it doesn't do is if, like, let's say on West Coast Avengers happens to be, I think, that first appearance of Jeff the Landshark. And if you type in like Jeff the Landshark or Jeff or Landshark or Land, it doesn't go and give it to you. You have to type in West Coast Avengers. And even if you do that, you have to look at like the secret rare in order to see, oh, this is the comic that I'm remembering. I don't know if they're going to. The question I was planning to ask David tonight on Lori Brenner's the Queen's Court was that if they were going to get into any type of AI, like they can incorporate AI like a Chat GPT. I think they're at like 3.5 now, to be able to go and say, oh, hey, these questions, even though like right now we have to type in the exact thing that we want for the search bar. Could we make it so that if we type in something like Jeff the Landshark, do you mean West Coast Avengers? Like that type of deal. Or if we put in the storyline, like, oh, this storyline happens in this comic. But I think he's a little sick. He's not going to be on the Queen's Court tonight. He'll be on either next week or the week after, depending on how he feels, depending on what other stuff is going on. Speaking of David, we had, I don't have it here, on the background of his of the video before. One of the things that you see him wearing a Sony hat. You see him wearing a Sony hat, and that could have just been one of his many hats that he has. Obviously, he wears a bunch of different things, but he has the type of partnership that could announce maybe like, oh, hey, in the Sony arcade or in whatever. Again, I don't know if that was a thing that he was teasing at us. In the background, he did have, again, the Rick and Morty. It was a Morty poster. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if this was filmed before or after the Justin Roiland incident where he was accused of something and that he may or may not have done. I don't know if that were at NFT NYC last year. Him and Dan, I know he was there. I don't know if Dan was there. NFT NYC. He the first thing he said to people at I forget what party it was. He's like, "We don't have Rick and Morty yet," or something to that effect. So I am. They've been teasing that for a while. So I don't know if they do, but I think after this Justin Roiland thing, that might set back anything that that particular company, that Adult Swim, has been doing. Comment down below any of your what do you call it, theories about that. Moving on, the update is here. Just on Veve Official has an average of one code release every 10 days. The first phase of MCP on Veve Official is to be able to calculate your MCP points and see where you rank against others. That being said, when they do roll it out and you click calculate, it's going to take about 48 hours, Dan said, in order for it to calculate, because if you're like me and you got in early 2020, like February 2021, it has to calculate 2 years of points when you're buying stuff off of the store and calculating that for every day that you had it, for the times you sell it, when you buy it from the market. It's going to take a lot, but you will get emails along the way, like progress reports, emails saying, hey, your MCP calculations have started. And then you'll get another email saying your MCP calculations have finished. You can open the app and see where you are and see where you rank. Be advised, people are probably going to fall in those rankings very, 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 very quickly. And why I say that is because, excuse me, I'm dying. Why I say that is because in the first couple of days, honestly, the app might crash because of that. For the first couple of days, a lot of people are going to wonder where they are. Some people might not care right away. And if, let's say, you're ranked 800th, okay, cool. When you have another 100 people come on and click that, or another 1,000 people come on and click that, most likely, a bunch of people are going to pass you because they just haven't calculated it yet. Like, you're probably really like 1,200th, but people just haven't gone in and calculated theirs yet. So that might be discouraging to some people. Oh my God, I'm number 789. Meanwhile, you're number 1193. So, oh my God, my chest. I got the ick. So yeah, we have that. Okay, take a couple of those. Calculate. The MCP on Veve will start to roll out in the next few weeks. He didn't say if it was a couple of weeks, like 2 or 3, or several weeks, like 6 to 8 weeks. I'm really hoping this does roll out in Q1. They have all of February. I'm not really expecting anything there. I will start to expect things in March. I really hope we get that before then, just because I want them to be able to say something. Hey, we rolled out something in Q1. So I'm really hoping for that. If not, we'll get it next quarter. But just me personally, I really want that this quarter. The wait list is going to follow after the rollout of MCP. So I've heard a lot of people talking that OMI and the OMI development roadmap was like conspicuously absent, and they could not be more wrong. They spent a lot of time on the wait list, and the wait list, if we go and take a look at the development roadmap, which again is updated manually, the waitlist drop system, that is part of OUP. Let me go and make this a little darker for y'all. Y'all can see. That is part of the OUP. It says OUP progress. So that is part of it. The crypto to gem, they are obviously back on. They're still doing beta testing with. I would say crypto to gem, hopefully Q2, but that might be pushed out to Q3, just because if they're talking about weeks for MCP to roll out, and then the waitlist coming out right after. Let's say we have 5 weeks. We're into March. Let's say mid-March. It takes 6 weeks for us to get MCP, and then another 2 weeks for waitlist because they said that has to roll out immediately after. Okay, well that's the end of March, and then shortly after that you should get crypto to gem. most likely that's in Q2, unless there's some crazy bugs that you have to fix with uh, with MCP, with the rollout of the waitlist, with things like that, and let's say other things aren't coming along, like the Omi spot wallet, the Omi staking wallet we're not going to get for a while, but the Omi spot wallet and things like that. If those are delayed, Omi to accessory, because we are supposed to get the land, and they didn't mention Veveverse either, which I am kind of iffy about. I'm definitely fine with them tapering expectations and them not going and saying what they want to do, because every time they say, hey, here's what we want to do, people are like, when? Okay, well, we hope to get it by this time. And then when things happen, they don't get it by that time. People are just, it's ridiculous. Anyway, the Omi spot wallet, I'm glad that they did not mention the Veveverse, but at the same time, like, I'm dying here. So I would say the Veveverse, at least the first part, when you get the home space and the accessories, they're not going to roll that out until the Omi 2 accessory is done, and that doesn't look like it's really been worked on. So I would say Q3. We probably get that. But anyway, moving on here. The wait list will open 30 minutes before the drop. So whenever the drop is, I would say whenever they roll it out, let's say in Q2, you have a drop, whatever it is. Like I think this Saturday, it's not going to be this Saturday, but for example, on a random Saturday, you have a Marvel drop. 30 minutes before the drop, the gates will open for the wait list. And then 5 minutes before the drop, the wait list will close. So you have 25 minutes to get in there. And at the time of the drop, the users will be selected randomly. That's pretty cool. And then Dan had mentioned Veve official doing some marketing. And then he mentioned Disney in the same sentence. For those of you like, I forget the dude's name that called me a liar. But for those of you that are wondering where that is, it's at the 30-minute mark in the community update. Dan talks about getting marketing going, and it says like, oh, for example, Disney has millions or tens of millions of fanatics out there that would love to collect. I was like, oh, yes, Dan, preach it, girl. So yeah, definitely look at that if you are wondering, if you're just wondering where that is. That's at the 30-minute mark. Moving on, we have Sylvester Stallone, I think was very influential in most men's lives that are under the age of 40, at least for me. Watching Rocky, watching Rambo, watching a lot of these amazing things growing up. And then as he got older, him reviving the Rocky series, and then reviving it again with Creed, and then reviving Rambo, and then doing the Expendables is really heckin' awesome. Rambo was even in the last Mortal Kombat. Lines of dialogues are amazing. So the fact that we have Rambo, oh God, Sly Stallone, welcome to the fam. Absolutely love that. Moving on here. Join the fam. David had mentioned we have Fidgetals and collaborations coming later this year. So he didn't say with who. He didn't say if the Fidgetals are going to be with which company. I would really like it if we were to get something with Jazzwares, with Jeremy Bedauer, with Uncle Jeremy, because I love him. But probably going to be with Disney, probably going to be with Marvel, probably going to be that type of deal. Oh, Rambo is animated too. So huzzah. Alex had confirmed on Spaces after the update, saying that the Veve gold and silver logo are now legacy pieces, according to Veve official. Again, this was confirmed by Alex on Spaces. People asking what's that mean, and then and then Alex had responded, "No one knows what it means, but it's provocative." I think that just means that it's going to be a staple, that it's something that is a blue chip, will one day probably be a grail. I believe that as well. Again, I'm kind of putting words in Alex's mouth there. I believe that it is a blue chip and will one day be a grail. This is, yeah, because of the way it was handed out. I've gone over that a million times before. Alex had also, oh no, that was it. That's all for my particular review of those updates. Outside that, all right, Fed rate hike. Up 0.25%, which is really a lot what people are expecting. I'm expecting things to kind of go up after this. All right, hang on. We have Veve has just tweeted saying, feeling good about the new look. How about another fire drop announcement? And Willow Kid says, well, Randy Chavez is live. Heck yeah, I'm live. All right, let's get that, Brad. I love this game. So we do have. They did announce before that we're getting a comic. The comic is Uncle Scrooge. Scrooge McDuck is the star of this very special and historical comic book story by Carl Banks. That's going to drop on Friday, and they are going to start. They are going to have something on Saturday that is a Marvel drop. What I am thinking is it's probably going to be, I hope, Ant-Man, Marvel Mighties, because we do have that movie coming out in a couple of weeks. And we have we have a bunch. We have I think at least 5 Marvel Mighties sets that is going to be happening this year, and the sets, in my opinion. Oh God, where did I put this? All right, let me go and I forget where I put this. I have to go and find this line of dialogue. So oh, by the way, I bought Moromi. 152 million. Let's get this bread. I'm sweating, but I love this game. All right, updates. Okay, what point? What point? Sony, no, nothing. Okay. I swear I wrote it down on what I expected for the Marvel Mighties. Maybe I wrote it down in another chat. All right, we're going to take a look at the Ant-Man Quantumania Mighties most likely, and then we're going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy Mighties most likely. Agatha Covenant of Chaos going to be late in the year. That might even be early next year. We are going to have Loki season 2. We are going to have Captain Marvel. So that's going to be the Marvels. And then you have Secret Wars. No, not Secret Wars. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm derping on the name, but there's another one. Oh, Secret Invasion. I'm sorry, Secret Invasion with SLJ, Colby Smulders, all that. So that's going to be, yeah. So anyway, I bought another million Omi at 152 million because that's what I continue to believe that is one of the best investments. All right, come on, Veve. Don't do this to me. I'm waiting for these announcements. I'm waiting for it. Waiting to see what it is. Fine, hit us with it. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. So Fed rate hike. I expected this to be relatively good news for the markets in general. Let's see how they're reacting. Yes, markets are reacting positively. The S&P 500 up 1%. Dow only up 0.05, but we do have the Nasdaq up 2%. And then we do have the Russell 2000 up 2%. Crude oil down 2%. Gold up 1.1. Silver up 1.1. And then let's take a look at some of these high growth tech stocks, high growth tech stocks, such as Tesla up 4.84%. Let's get this red. Everyone comment down below if you are invested in Tesla. Let's take a look at Illumina. Illumina. Okay, ILUM. LL? Okay, there we go. ILMN. All right, so Illumina is up 0.84%. Let's take a look at Fastly. FSLY. Fastly is up 3.72%. And then you have I don't know, let's take a look at one more. We haven't gotten any of a lot of the tech stocks updates yet. That's not going to be until later in this week. And then you have Disney, which is going to be next week. I'm very curious to see what we have with Disney next week. Again, they did not mention marketing and Disney in the same sentence for no reason. I continue to believe that at some point, and it might not be this quarter, it might not be next quarter, but at some point you will see Disney buying something of Veve's. Like they bought a bunch of the collectibles, like Omi, or even a piece of the company. You can't tell me no. You can't tell me no. Anyway, what is it? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Let's take a look at what's another one. Was Lemonade. Take a look at Lemonade. Lemonade is up 2.83%. Again, positive day for the markets. Let's take a look at how. Oh, I didn't mean to click on this message, guys. Be advised if you're messaging while I'm doing stuff, I'm gonna click on it. It's gonna say I left you on red. I did not mean to, but yeah. Anyway, let's take a look. All right, so Bitcoin is up 1.4% over the last 24 hours. Let's see how they're doing over the last hour. 1.8% over the last hour. Ethereum up 2%. BNB up 1.5. We got XRP up 1.5, Cardano up 2, Polygon up almost 4. And these are all in the last hour. Let's take a look at how the OMI is doing. We have OMI over at the, it is above 0009. Let's take a look at the BitForex and see exactly where we are over the last several minutes. Up about 0.5% over the last 40-ish minutes. All right, let me take some comments before we go to the Discord. Bill Gardner says, "What up?" And Evans says, "What up?" And it was so disappointing. What? I thought it was great. Or the update. I mean, I think we got a lot of information. Veve fan says, "Let's go." Evans says, "Best thing about community update was the hearing Disney with the marketing." Oh, glad to see I'm not the only one that recognized that. Bill Gardner says, "Let's get this Rambo bread." All chat gaming. What up? Justin says, "Love wins." Love Doobie winner. Yo, Kobe collects. How you doing, fam? Does the new logo looks like a nutrition program? You guys can't make me laugh. My throat can't take it. Omar says we might see 00 OMI this year with the good news today from the Fed. Yeah, we might. It was bought more before it went up and put myself at 20 million. My man, you're gonna catch up to me at some point. So it says no KYC required for drops is huge. Yeah, that is really huge. The only time you need a KYC is if I think you need to sell or cash out, which is really good because you don't want people to KYC just to try to buy something or go for the drop. That really tells people that like, it's annoying, not going to do it. But so being able to go for drops without KYCing is huge. Kobe says, wasn't expecting much from the update, so not disappointed or excited. Except things are really looking up. Agreed. Kobe says, Veve knows we're not leaving so they can take their time. If the app didn't improve in 12 months, they know we'd still all go for cap number 1 if it was released. Of course. The bitch says AMA was really bullish. Agreed. Info on exchanges, no. I bet you we get one before the end of the year. Bet you we get one. Ultra Gamer says, I mean, I still like, oh, dude, same. I've been going up on TikTok, link down below my TikTok, and I've been trying to tag Adult Swim. I'm like, hey, listen, this is my Rick and Morty impression. Go do it. Go take a look at it. I think it's pretty boss. Ultra Games, no OMI updates, not really. Says, don't die, you're too rich to die. I am not rich anymore. Well, I guess I still am a little bit. But I think at 0.0066, I'll be a millionaire again. But that might take a while. Might take a while. Thanks, chat. Magar says, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he just announce we're getting into movies? The first one is Rambo. Well, he mentioned Rambo, and they mentioned collaborations. I don't know if they necessarily said movies, though. But it says, no OMI update yet, and MCP update was that there was no estimated time frame for phase 1. Well, phase 1 for, okay, you're talking about MCP and that. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, phase 1 for Veve is a different thing. And we know OEP update. There was an update on the wait list, but the time frame is weeks. We don't know how long. Mitch looks like he means business. He totally means business. I think he means business. I am waiting for this heckin'. I'm waiting for this heckin' update. Come on, Veve, what you do? Are they going to announce it on the? They might announce it on the Discord because it's been 9 minutes. I haven't updated anyone else about the announcement. Quoted tweet say. Okay. NFT Pirate says, woo. Person never change the drops. Veve drop system is my favorite. Countdown on how button will be missed. It will. Omar says, gosh, many don't see the long-term vision, and many are going, yeah. The DCA is my favorite thing to do. This is OEP article does not match the logo's aesthetic. You are correct. It does not match the aesthetic. Okay. All right. Where are we at here now? Come on, Veve. All right. I'll keep you posted. What's up, JKLXRP? How's it going? And what's good, Pioneers? 2 weeks will be good to go. I hope they're prepared for waitlist because many can open X amount of tabs to get the waitlist shorter to get the drop. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, I will take a Rambo as well, JK. Willow Kid says, what's up, Ryan? What up, Willow? Yo, Adrian. I don't know how many times I said that when I was younger. It was a lot, though. So if they are doing Rambo drop, I have read where Stallone and Schwarzenegger are very competitive. If Arnold found Stallone getting NFT before him, might piss him off. Randy, get Arnold on. I would love to get Arnold on. You have no idea. Oh, first appearance of, okay, it's a comic, but it's okay. First appearance of Black Panther T'Challa, as well as the nation of Wakanda. Marvel's Fantastic Four, number 1961, number 52, features the exclusive rare and ultra rare covers. Let's get this bread. I love it. All right, so I'm pretty sure that's a significant comic. It is Black History Month. Try to find out what it's valued at and keep it posted. Somebody texted me, says, "Didn't people get a Veve logo tattoo?" They did. Vintage logo now. Yeah, so people did get Veve logo tattoos. So we were like, I got a tattoo, and okay, well, you got a tattoo of the first logo. It's vintage. You're an OG now, in my opinion. I would love to get Arnold Schwarzenegger on per Weird Al movie. Dude, I love Weird Al. Weird Al's hilarious. I didn't see the Weird Al movie with Daniel Radcliffe. I'm pretty curious about that. Veve do be teasing though. Oh, is that the Marvel drop they were talking about? Maybe that's the Marvel drop because that's going to be on Saturday, right? Oh no, that's on Sunday. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Animated Rambo mowing down a village of cartel members. Oh heck yeah! Oh heck yeah! So it amazes me that the amount of white people that said the last Rambo movie, Last Blood, was like racist. It's like, well, like I mean, he's fought Russians, he's fought Cambodians, he's fought people, like he's fought every race in the world, and now you think it's racist because he's killing a bunch of brown people? No, no. I think like he's the one that allied themselves with the Mujahideen, calling them freedom fighters, fighting Russia. I think it's okay to. All right, I got to be careful how I say this because I was going to say it's okay to kill a certain type of people, which it is, but only if they're bad. Me as a Spanish person, as a brown, I love the fact that he was mowing down cartel members. It was great. It was great. I don't care they were brown. Okay, okay. What this? Who we doing this? Okay, we're in the Discord. Gotta get in the Discord. All right. Where's the Discord at? All right, Veve. Okay, where are we in here? It's got to be. Oh, live event stage, community workshop. All right, let's get. Got it.
Rare and ultra rare covers by Israel Silva. That's dropping on Sunday. We really wanted to come out with something, a couple of good things today, and then also wanted to kind of take advantage of showing off the new digs, the branding and whatnot. So you'll but really excited for that, and you'll notice that we're going to start at announcing draws maybe a little earlier now. As soon as we have approval on these things, we're going to try to get them up so that you have plenty of time to react and research and all of that great stuff, because sometimes the 3-day turnaround on drop notification was really out of necessity for us, because a lot of the times those approvals come down to the wire. But we're really trying to get ahead of our production schedule and announce these things a little earlier for you guys. So thank you very much. Really looking forward to this comic. It is a really big one, and one of the the biggest characters in Marvel universe. Also, I believe Wakanda Forever is streaming today, as of today, on Disney Plus.
I was watching it.
Double celebration, triple celebration, also in celebration of the start of Black History Month here in the U.S. Okay, let's
just one. Just quickly, I think Mitch hasn't joined a Discord voice chat previously, so may just need that.
Oh, he hasn't?
I don't think so. Yeah,
he seemed to know what I was talking about. Let me send the invite to him.
Definitely David.
How do I do that?
I've sent it the invite to the
no,
Discord.
No is not with Veve anymore.
Okay, to the channel.
All right. So while we wait for Mitch, let me talk about a few other things. So today's session is going to be probably the first in an ongoing series we hold periodically. I'm not sure what frequency they will be, but we're going to try to have these every once in a while. And really what we want to do is not, it's not an AMA. It is more of a, you've been using the app, you use it every day, you're fully embedded in it. You hang out in this Discord. You're on Twitter, in the market. You go for drops. But what is that one, or 2, 3 features that you just wish would come already? And we're not talking about like big ticket items like MCP, because obviously we know that's a big one. We're working on it and it's close. But I'm talking about things like, just little nuances or quirks of the market, and how to list things, or what types of things you would like to list, or what kind of interactions you'd like to have with other people on the platform, and what kinds of things we can do to make this a more unified, kind of fun experience that is collector for, right? Obviously, always been focused on collectors, always been by collectors for collectors, but with this new mission statement of the brand today, we really want to make sure that we have collectors at heart when we're moving in any way we move, whether that's development, whether that's outreach, community engagement, utility, etc. So what we'll do is we'll have a few people up on stage at a time, and we'll kind of run through your big ideas. And again, out of respect for the people that are waiting to get on stage or in the live chat or whatever the case is, this is not the place for when a certain IP or I have a support ticket that hasn't been answered or anything. We'll handle that separately, and we have mods in here that can help you along the support ticket tool that can get those escalated to the support team. But mainly, this is all new feature suggestions, because we've had a really good time and a good amount of ideas coming through our advisory panel that we started on a very small kind of focus group basis thus far, and we really want to open the forum up to the rest of the community. So let me quickly see if we can't get Mitch in here.
Come on, Mitch. Get him, Mitch.
Yep, he's just, I think you can see the channels now. No, I'm chatting to him. Just getting him in there. Eagle, if you want to maybe ping him as well.
Ping him.
But Mitch, if you are in the channel, cool. Just raise your hand, and we should be able to bring you onto the stage. There's a little request to speak somewhere there.
Get him. Come on, Mitch. We love you, Mitch.
Oh.
Mitch is here.
Oh, nope, he's muted.
All right, Mitch, on stage. Eagle is back as well. Go. Fantastic.
All right, can you hear us, Mitch? Everything all good on your end?
Yeah, everything's working. Thanks.
Okay, perfect, great. How long was I? I realized that I was muted. What was the last thing you heard me say?
No, I think we've got most of it. Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started then.
Totally for collectors.
Bring people on stage, and I believe we are recording this session. Is that correct, people?
Yes.
Okay. So we are recording. Just so everybody knows, we are recording so that we can go back and listen to some of these great ideas that you're going to bring us, and also for your information, in case you missed something in your note taking, we will have the recording so you can review it as well. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get our first couple up here, Eagle.
All right, let's do it. So we got some of our most active members. We're gonna have someone representing for the Voltaholics. We got some people representing from the Twitter fam as well. So let's start it up here. We'll start with Michael.
Who's Michael?
Michael, how are you?
That's Michael.
So one of the things we felt would be useful would be some cleaning up or reorganization of the market and brand pages. So for example, currently there are 4 Coca-Cola brand logos. 2 of the 4 are identical. So the suggestion is simply to make it a relatively simple but effective change into sort of turning it into kind of something along the lines of like a nesting doll. So in this scenario, let's say I wanted to search for the Coke Bear Snow Globe. I would go to brands, click Coca-Cola, and then if you wanted to differentiate the brands further, you could still use the existing subcategories like Coca-Cola Starlight, the Coke truck, that sort of thing. But it would just make scrolling through the brands significantly faster and more consistent.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I think you may not be surprised to learn that Mitch and I wholeheartedly agree with your assessment here. It is a bit of a mess. I think there's maybe some hierarchical issues in the way that that page is architected, and I know Mitch has been looking into that. But do you have any insight there, Mitch, about why that is the way it is and how easy of a fix it is?
I wouldn't be able to say why that is the case, only because I think it's been there for quite a little while the way that it is, right? But what I can say is that, our priorities right now have been focused on actually delivering on the promises that we said we would deliver, ironically, ages ago. So what we are trying to do now is clear that backlog, deliver the product of quality and the features of quality to start with, and immediately after that, start pivoting into actually making user experience changes right across the board. So once the functions are in, we're going to start looking at these exact things that you're talking about, Mikhail, to start addressing them piece by piece and enhancing the overall user experience as we progress.
Great. Yeah, and sort of along those same lines, of course, I can understand this would probably fall along the same lines of priority, but, we currently have the wish list feature. It doesn't really work. And so something that I know a lot of folks would really like to have would be some sort of ability to pin a favorite collectible or brand or a series to either the markets or the brand page. So, for example, if I was somebody who was trying to save up to collect a certain series, we'll use the Golden Moments as an example. I could pin the Golden Moments to my market so that whenever I pulled up the market, I could jump right into that series. I wouldn't have to look for it. I wouldn't have to sort. It would be sort of like a favorite, so to speak.
Yeah, and would that be something that you would say, I don't suppose it's going to be something that is tied to a specific collectible by a specific user. It's just, I want to be able to literally expedite my search, right? So something like my wish list, I hit on something that I'm interested in, partners, for example. I hit that wish list and immediately it takes me to the marketplace and it shows me pretty much everything that is on the market for partners at the moment.
That's exactly,
yeah, it's kind of expedited search.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Miguel. Mr. Lambie, how are you?
Who's Mr. Lambie?
Great. Thank you very much for having me. I know that when we bring up suggestions, none of us feel like it's going to be groundbreaking, like you guys haven't thought of this. We recognize you're a business and thought of many different possibilities and models that you've already probably put in place. But our three things. We'll start with the big one, and then the second one are two smaller ones. The first one is sometimes people complain about seeing commercials when they have like a subscription for a streaming service and they don't like it. But on the other side of the coin, there's people like us that like search out for the advertisements or the ads. For example, like Ant-Man and Wasp on YouTube, 28 million views, or Guardians, 26 million views. And so while we wouldn't want to frustrate Veve users with commercials that don't apply, we would like video on the feed, and that video on the feed could be upcoming Marvel and Disney or Universal, movie trailers or theme park promotions, or even, to a lesser extent, feature the videos that Veve creates in promoting, their upcoming drop that shows the animation, or even just video that is provided by users of showing their vaults or the things they've done in AR.
Okay,
yeah, so you want that, right? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go out.
I was saying you want the feed to be a little more contextual, I suppose, with things that are pertaining to pop culture or drops as a whole, or activity within the community. People think are things people are excited about, or upcoming drops. To use your Ant-Man and Wasp idea, it'd be cool to see anticipation of that movie, something in feed, either promoting a film or related to drop. Is that generally what you're talking about?
Yes, I don't know what kind of deals you could make, but if you had a trailer that could drop on Veve an hour before it drops on YouTube, brings millions of eyes to the Veve app, and everyone that's already liking Marvel would be watching those videos here on Veve instead of other areas.
Yeah, I like the I hadn't thought of that one.
as you say, being able to repurpose our own trailers and content, right? Because at the moment, if you're not on Twitter, you probably miss seeing those in the first place. So having those in the feed would be great too.
All right. The second one is in relation to people that are interested in buying DV collectibles as a set, and whether that would be like matching mints across the whole set, or just the ability to find someone who's looking to sell something as a set, which would reduce like the searching or the guesswork to see if that edition number is even available.
That one's a good one.
So selling or buying.
I think that's great.
Well, we get that quite frequently, the ability to sell sets as a whole, or maybe you have you're a hunter of a specific mint number, palindromes, or something like that. You'd like to sell those as a set. Sequential mint numbers, for instance. I think, that's an interesting idea. All right.
Even to take that one step further. You go. I was going to say, one idea that was around it earlier was even like a set sweep, right? So you, instead of having to go through a buying, if you just wanted to buy a set,
You can only merge non-KYC accounts to KYC accounts.
like that. Would save some time too.
Great. And then my final one was, and I'm not talking about like transfers coming back because I'm uninterested in off-app trading. However, there's a lot of people that play fantasy football, basketball, baseball, and a lot of the fun of that is trades. You know, you wake up in the morning or you see a notification and you've received a trade offer. And there's fun in even just coming up with trade proposals. Now, of course, everything would need to be overseen by Veve and reviewed by the Veve team. But a slight gamification would be some excitement of seeing what kind of offer that you got. Maybe you value Batman more than Spider-Man, and the other person has the opposite. You know, they value Spider-Man over Batman. And so a fun feature would be checking back with the app to see what kind of offers you received. Of course, with the safety and security inside the Veve app only being the main thing, with also the dues or the fees or the royalties included to honor all the agreements. So in-app trading.
Guarantee you they've already thought of these things, and they're just wondering what the community thinks of.
We have heard trading quite a bit in the past, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know Dan did allude to some form of that coming at some point. I think when we were at Decon, I believe, during Q&A. So yeah, hopefully we can get that prioritized.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you coming up. All right, let's move on to next is Call Me 5G. How you doing today?
Call me 5G.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yep.
Great. I have some couple recommendations for the functions on the app, and pretty much mainly focuses on the comics. So it's really difficult to find a specific comic on the app. And I understand you guys already heard about recommendations of having categories of Bronze Age, Silver Age, Golden Age. But another thing is that there's a bookmark function on the app that only works on the collectibles. Unfortunately, it doesn't do the same for comics. So I was wondering if that can be fixed in some way, because a lot of the times when I try to find a specific comic, I have to scroll and scroll and scroll. Eventually, I might not even find the comic, so I have to go back and scroll again until I find it. So I'm just wondering if you guys have any updates on that somehow, or maybe on the bookmark thing as well.
You want to take this one?
I think Cold Wallet's definitely on the back burner.
We know the comics are hard. Comics are a bit harder than collectibles.
Yeah, so basically, when you bookmark a collectible, it'll come out in your collection tab. It'll come out like your favorites. And like you can't do it for comics. You could do it for the collectibles, but not the comics.
Yeah, we do know that comics needs a little bit more focus, and we'll probably start with enhancing fortifying search and the links kind of iteration for comics specifically as well. So we'll try and bring that to the forefront and then start to build that in. But we do hear you. We have seen that, and I have also struggled trying to find comics on the app itself. So part of that problem will probably not be addressed as a whole, as we enable different components of the site to be enhanced, and we'll tackle that.
We kind of have that already, but
more the functions and features. But I think we'll probably start with it being a little bit easier to use the search function.
Great. I have one last recommendation. I think it would be great if the app focuses more on the social aspect. So what I mean specifically is that you can already like and comment on all of the messages on the feed on the app. But I think it would be great if there's a way to store these messages that you like and comment on your own profile. So for example, like on Twitter, when you follow someone and you like their tweet, it stores on your own profile that you've liked someone else's tweet. So you can always go back and reread them or even share it with your friends. So since it's already a thing and everyone uses it every second, I imagine it would be helpful if people can go back. Because I want to be able to find someone easily on the app, whether it's someone I've met on Discord or a friend that I've just helped bring into the app. So yeah, tell me your thoughts about that.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. I hadn't thought about that. So this one's quite valuable as well. Just being able to kind of track back on history of things that you've engaged on, right? I think that's the most important bit, is being able to just find and re-engage in conversations that you probably engaged in a few days ago, and you want to see how that's tracking, or even just to go back and able to reread them and reshare them.
Yeah, I will.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Especially within the app, I think we've kind of, and maybe it wasn't the right way to go about it, but we put the sort of social interactions not on the back burner per se, but because the Veveverse really is focused on that social interaction. I think we've kind of put it in that box. But I agree, it needs to also be present within the app so that it's easy to find people.
Great. One last thing, I promise. There's a small bug in the app. So it's a feature that already exists but doesn't do its job. So pretty much what I mean is that in the brands aspect, you're able to search for the brands. And it says, oh, search for a brand or a collectible. When I use that, it doesn't do anything. So it's pretty much exactly in the brands, and on the top right corner, there's a sort button. So you can sort the brands from Z to A and A to Z, but it doesn't let you specifically search for the brand that you want. And for the new search bar function, it doesn't always do that as well. So have you guys thought about that?
Have you got the latest version of the app?
It's this mother flapper
Dropped.
did not update his app to answer that question.
I think it's working better now with the rollout of Search 1.
Spending precious time.
Still confusing, but does anyone else face the same thing that's on stage, Eagle or Bronson?
No, I have to.
Okay, he didn't do. All right, so we're gonna get to some of these comments real quick because that. We got is not rug pull. Yeah, I hate that he said that. Oh, we're not a rug pull. Like, why even address that? But yeah, I get it. Inventory in the search. Why? I'm not sure. Try. All right, hang on. But yeah, I'm not sure about this.
I'll walk around to the phone with a mail and the Veve app on it. Is there an option to get extra security form of face recognition or something like that?
Face recognition.
More secure. Now they only have to get my password and my 2FA and then they're in.
Can I just elaborate? Can I just dig in a bit on that? Are you talking about facial recognition to access your application and not just password oriented?
Yes.
We are looking into that.
Okay. And my second one is a little bit the same as Calmy just said. Sorting on the comics, that's a real hassle for me. I'm collecting some of the series, so more filtering in the market and my own collection would be a good one. And when you are on the home page, you see a little button that you have one of that comic. Could we also add that to the marketplace so you could just filter and see which one do I still have to buy?
Sorry, I'm being quiet. It's because they're on a response because I can't talk and type at the same time.
Don't worry, we are recording, so I don't know if you want to. If you want us to drive it, we can certainly do so. But you can otherwise.
Yeah, I think we've heard some themes around comics overall. I think there needs to be a bit more focus on making comics a bit more accessible and discoverable. I think as a general theme. I've also heard quite a few themes about set completions and the ability to not just only have one of the set, but also be able to find and be provided with a prompt. Be able to say, oh, you have to
Agreed. It will be.
Yeah, for I think Siri era sets will be the most search ones, I think.
All right, so Corey.
What about story arc in particular?
All right, so Corey, what you would do is you would go up to where it says secret rare or any mint, it doesn't matter, the top lines up there, and you'll go and you'll click and it'll look at edition high to low or price. Yeah, go to edition low to high, and then you'll be able to search for edition numbers that way.
I'm not a comic collector, so that's the feature of people.
Well, there isn't. I don't think there's enough arcs right now at the moment. But
Agreed, Justin.
The more they come out, yeah, that'd be cool.
The more that makes sense.
Okay. And I think the Bronson you had also brought up filtering it through with the metadata somehow, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, filtering based on the era of the comic or filtering based on the series of the comic. Some series I gave up, but some series I still collect.
This is all dependent on the data that we get. So I need to have a look at what the overall data is.
Justin, there's like 98% dudes on the app. We do not need it to be a dating app. It'd be the most unsuccessful dating app ever.
Right. Oh, Megatron.
Granted, Tinder's like 80% male, so yeah.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, comic showrooms will get to.
I have a question about more of the app functionality in terms of visually how it looks. Would there be a way to customize the icons like when scrolling? Right?
They definitely did not.
You only see 2 icons per row, and then as you scroll, it's like infinite scrolling. Would be able to change that to do 3 or 4 or as much as the user might want? Is that something possible?
It's definitely possible, but it also depends.
We won't have that. You need to look on Mutascan for that.
Sometimes, in particular, when it comes to native applications, not so much the web, in order for us to provide that custom ability for you to change what it looks like, there's 2 things. One, yes, it's that we've got automatically resize them. That is obviously going to throw some aspect ratios off. Sometimes it's stretched. I remove the name of the item, shrink the name of the text. Also. Yeah, correct. So there's a fair bit of go to the customization of it. What we could probably do is that as a stopgap type scenario is probably change things. So this, for example, is less about the image, more just about the metadata, where you can say, well, instead of
would be nice.
Brands categorized in.
Agreed. Definitely should.
When you think about it, you touched on a really good UX point where
they did not, Big A.
Just scroll through tens of thousands of tiles.
I mean, a year ago it wasn't such a problem, but now there is so much IP on here that you're scrolling for, it's almost endless. So that would be great. Also, on the like the comics tab, when you click a certain comic and the 5 rarities pop up, then you click on the one you want, and then you're taken to the marketplace. Would there be a way just to show all of the current market prices, like, the floor prices for each one right there on the first page, instead of having to go. No, like when you go to, like, if you click comics, right, and then it shows you all the comics, and there's the 5 rarities. You pick any comic, and it shows you all 5 covers. Would there be a way to show the price, the floor price of each one in addition there on that page without having to actually click and drill
go into each one to do it?
Yeah, that would save a lot of clicking.
Okay. I mean,
They're talking. And I wouldn't really call it sketchy. It's just a different wallet that they're using. One to the app. First, we already have.
Touch again on what I think 5G was alluding to was when you click the search feature on the top, it does say like brands. And if you type in Disney, the only one that comes up is the Disney D logo.
Oh.
I understand that you guys are, as time goes on, you're improving the search and these things will be added to it, correct?
Correct. That'll happen for a while. Again, Marco, I've addressed this probably a dozen times, if not more. And the reason probably why you haven't seen me talk about it is probably just because you just don't watch, which is fine. Not everyone can watch every video or every live stream. Yeah, I've talked about this at least a dozen times. Be advised, if you shut down the app for that long, Veve does lose revenue. If the app is not working while they're going to do that, then Veve is not making money. I would rather Veve keep that level of income.
Gals who are very prolific in creating really amazing scenes within the confines of the showrooms, and we're out them actually even outside of the showrooms in the VR function, VR function. And there has been some long-standing frustrations that I assume will be voiced by our main man Tails.
Good point.
On stage here. So with that, Tails, please enlighten us.
Really quick, Tails, there's going to be more than 1 or 2 frames, so don't worry about it. He's representing the whole Vaultaholic.
All right, Tails, let's get this bread.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thanks for having us up, guys. Hope you're all doing well.
Big difference between lies and delays. You need to invest in tech.
You guys are really quiet, so Eagle, this is recorded, like you said, isn't it? So, okay. Mitch, nice to meet you. I guess my first thing is, with the Veveverse around the corner, and obviously you've got showrooms that you use in the app, and obviously you can continue to, improve the app. What will happen with those showrooms? Because that will then lead me to other questions, depending on whether you're going to kind of give up on them, or you still want to, improve features in the showroom just on the mobile.
Good question. We're thinking about 2 things at the moment. One is eventually we believe that your Veve home space will supersede the showrooms overall, but probably won't be from day one. So from a showroom point of view, I believe that there is a degree of longevity there as a function and feature, but we're not at the point yet where we're able to give you a definitive, yes, it will be 100% replaced, therefore it will have 6-month lifespan. Or we will say, well, actually, you can use both depending on what you want to do for foreseeable.
Awesome. Yeah. So the feedback we have is just for the app, for the showrooms at the moment. Because obviously, what the Veveverse is going to be like. But the biggest one on our kind of hit list is the lot collectible feature. So back in January last year was when Showroom 2.0 was rolled out, and this was never an issue. They changed the guides, changed the controls, and very nicely put back our old controls because we moaned about it. But ever since then, I'll just give you a real quick example. Just say you've got the Jaws poster, and then you've got Superman in front of the Jaws poster, and you want to move Superman up. You cannot do that. It will just instantly select the poster instead, and that was never an issue. So, especially with us guys that we create, like as Alex said, showrooms outside the showrooms, it's still possible, but it's really hard. So that would be like my main feedback the other one,
Is that
and I
only
believe,
with posters?
sorry,
Or
go on.
Is that only with posters?
It's with everything. I just gave that as an example. So, and it does sometimes depend on the collectible. But like I say, this wasn't an issue before the rollout back in January 2022.
I personally haven't experienced this, but that's also because I only have a certain amount of collectibles and I have a shit ton of space. So I'm assuming that because you guys are seeing the space that you're working with is rather limited, therefore the areas which you kind of engage with collectibles to trigger the the gyro.
We got Eva from Veve University.
There's other little kind of bugs with it. So
her hand is up. Bring up Eva.
You call it the collider, like it's the box that when you tap on a collectible, it selects it. So it's like a invisible box, so to speak. Some of them they're all different, right? But some of them are just you can't select something that's near it. So it's just it's another issue. So I don't know how easy or tough it would be, but just to be able to quickly select each collectible, even if you had like a drop down menu, and you could just go and with the collectibles that are already in your vault. That's another one that I just got.
So my conflict trying to deal with collectibles.
You would need KYC to cash out, so maybe bots could get it, but they wouldn't be able to cash out. It's fine.
To move them around, so I can imagine it'll be a pain. Probably just need a different way to select the collectible that you want to work with. Perhaps lock it for that collectible for that specific amount of time and unlock it with one.
That would be great. And then there's like, and again with these collider boxes, I don't know how you can amend it, but if you were able to just walk through the collectibles, so when we're, the guys like to film their stuff and turn it to whatever afterwards, when you're kind of walking around, the controls are really good. Like you can get cinematic camera sweeps, it's amazing. But certain collectibles you'll bump into and you're not even near it. Like for example, the Sapphire bomb mask is notorious and nobody ends up using it because you can't get anywhere else in your vault because it's just the collider box again. I'm assuming it's just very large.
So be advised, Big A, that there's a lot better ways to spend $6 million. Let's say Veve has $50 million. It's $6 million on that one Super Bowl commercial is probably not going to be worth it. There's a lot better ways to reach a lot more people, in my opinion.
I'll steal your question, but when you go into the vault, like the collectibles, which one you want to put in. If you want to, select a season 1 collectible and you've got 1,000 collectibles, you're there for 20 minutes before you can even get to it, and the app might crash a couple
Good
of
point.
times. So
good point.
A way to just, when you click right, add collectible, add maybe a search bar or something along that line, just to get to it quicker.
I'm trying to visualize that in my head.
So, Justin, what I was talking about is that Eva's got her hand up, so I was saying, bring her up, bring Veve University up. That's what he meant.
I'll send you a video, Mitch.
Oh, who that?
Sorry.
Claire! Claire's here! We love Claire.
Very much. If you can make these improvements for the robotics, you'll be, on this road.
Right.
Really quick, guys. Claire came up because Claire is not only a mod but one of the biggest connectors in the app.
We love Claire. They're gonna introduce Claire. Yeah, Vivi's got that multiple times over, so please don't spread misinformation.
She goes to her collectibles.
University.
Yeah, so I suppose
Let's go, Claire.
I use the vault, but in a different way to what the Vaultaholics use it, because what I love doing is using the collectibles in the AR function when I'm out and about. So what I have to do, because I find the old showroom a lot easier because I don't lose my collectibles halfway through the ground and stuff. So I would load up an old vault, and then I need to get the characters to come out into the open. So it's like when Tails was trying to say, so when you want to select now your character, initially in the beginning it was the oldest one you owned would come first, and then it kind of switched it so that we could have the newer ones that we just purchased come up as the front runners. But as time's gone on, my list, I mean, you scroll for ages and you hit one by accident because you're trying to rush through it, and half an hour's gone and you've only got 2 collectibles. So a search bar, but also maybe a favourites, so that if there are certain collectibles that you always love to use, mine would be Harlequin, that I could get to her at the front instead of having to go maybe 500 collectibles in to find her. So.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah. So, sorry, not that sales didn't make sense. Now I understand. Yeah. So basically, when you're trying to interact with the characters that you have in your stable, previously it was sorted by first thing that you owned, and then now it's sorted by last thing that you bought. But it just needs to be accessible. You need to be able to find the things that you want to be able to you want to be able to utilize without having to scroll through your 1,000 collectibles to find one.
Yeah, and even if it was to sort them by brands, or be able to just start typing the name of the character so that all your Harleys would show at the same time, or just anything that, because it kind of does it that you scroll 20, say, I don't know what the exact number is, and then it stops, and then it sort of like has to gather up its thoughts again, and then you might have to do this maybe 20 times before you get to the one that you want to. So, and then still on the AR function, sometimes I found a hack where if I loaded a collectible, that it didn't matter if I went to a place where there was no signal, I could still load that one up because I'd already got it in AR when I had Wi-Fi or mobile data. But it can crash sometimes, so I might have got all the way to the top of the mountain and I can't load even a single collectible. So I don't know if there's a way for us to be able to kind of download the collectible that we own so that we can use it, even if it was for a limited amount of time, if it was 2 hours or 3 hours, just so that
that's what they're doing, Big A.
We could use it even if we were limited by mobile data or Wi-Fi.
It's like having songs saved in your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost like an offline.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is. If I want to take a picture now, if there's no Veve in it, it looks naked, and I get really upset. How good the view is, it just feels like there's something missing. And usually at the top of the mountain, you lose signal.
Yeah.
So, and Wales isn't the best anyway. It's quite patchy. And then night vision, I don't know if you're going to be able to sort of like the phones advance. Will Veve advance with them? Because I know that we can do that thing where we can decide if the collectible wants to be in front of the rock or behind the rock, sort of thing.
Hey, J-Lo.
Now.
Yeah. I might be off on this, but I vaguely remember
the old one is
some connection between having service or the location services on your phone need to be active for the AR to work or something similar like that. Does that sound familiar to you guys? It's been a long time since I installed the Veve app, obviously.
You definitely need a signal to load the characters or a character.
Yeah, and there's no sort of offline cache that stores. Yeah.
Claire can be on as long as she wants. She's OG.
And then once she gets to the top of the mountain, she still has a scene like saved, and she could place it down.
I mean, that would be ideal. But even if I could just have one character, I'd live with that.
That's it.
Harley
Claire,
keep them with me.
just a thought. Would it work in the opposite way, where if you could save the scene and reload a scene?
Oh, so that I got a background and I could put. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. So I'm not Photoshop PC, so I could probably do it, but yeah, if there was a way of.
It's like, if there was the ability for you to say, well, I love this mountaintop scene, right, where the rock's in front of the tree, for example, but I have no internet connectivity, but I'd like to save this one screen so that I can bring my collectibles into it once I get back into connectivity. So what you do is, instead of saving the collectible itself, I'm only saying this because it's not just data intensive, it's also processing intensive for your phone and your storage on your device. Saving a scene and then having the ability to use that scene later on might be a better, more streamlined approach to how we can provide you.
Be advised, guys. She's also a mod. She's earned this. Just giving
that
that
would
2
work.
cents.
It's so that I could, it's just so that I can have that view with that. And that would probably work better because I could have multiple characters and play with it when I come back home.
Because I think your key problem is like not being able to access the scene and your collectible at the same time due to communications, right? But I think the problem there can be solved in multiple ways. So it's more what's probably going to work better for you is, in my opinion, is probably be able to capture that scene and go, well, I can do anytime I want now with any collectible that I want once I get back home and it's not cold, it's not being blasted by the wind or the rain because I'm up on the mountain, which technically should be.
Don't tell me when I can play with my collectibles or not.
So like if you want this particular collection to be obscured behind this tree or half poking out from that rock, as opposed to just inserting your collectibles with different backgrounds. But
Tell me I can't play with my collectibles while it's raining? Get out of here.
Another thing with the AR is where the logo is placed, because it's so far, it's usually getting cropped out, so you're kind of losing the little BB logo sometimes because it's at the place more likely to be cropped. So I don't know if it needs to be more in the middle, that's all.
USA has the most people and the most money going.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's great.
thanks, Claire.
Bye, Claire. Yeah. All right.
So
Next.
Nexus.
Nexus.
Up, guys. You hear me?
Yep. Yeah. What's up? Next.
Thanks for having me. Long time buyer, first time collector. But yeah, so I was having a little bit of issue coming up earlier, but I'm glad you guys are hosting this. This is great. We get to give our feedback and provide questions, which I do have. Nice to meet you, Mitch. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so I'm a big advocate for creators on Veve, whereas I feel that we should have, well, it would be nice to have a lot of tools catered towards creators. One of the bigger thing I've been thinking about lately is SDKs. I'm not sure if someone brought it up earlier, but it would be really nice to have an SDK that would provide us with Veve information and also be able to download some of these 3D collectibles to have to build worlds with. One of the nice things about VR chat is whenever you visit VR chat, there are user-created worlds where people are able to go in there and role play as Star Wars, role play as Gotham Knight, whatever you would want to do. And it's sort of like user controlled. We get to control sort of like what happens with the user interactions. Users are able to create races. Like, for example, if you go to Star Wars world, you can race your pods because a programmer or developer was able to develop that into their world. Therefore, people could have mini games and play within these little pocket universes.
Be advised, we are going to get this.
Is that making sense?
It makes absolute sense.
Yeah. So sometimes that would be great.
Might take a year.
One other thing, I know Alex said keep it 2. I just have one other thing. Are you guys able to facilitate payments through OMI? What that would mean is
we'll get that as well.
Basically, like if I have this mini arcade style type of game, right? And I would like to burn more OMI. I know people have set up their own systems where through advertisements, they're able to burn OMI by receiving some of the funds from advertisers and directly buying and burning the OMI. But something a little bit more streamlined would be pretty neat. Sort of like Stripe. If I'm able to add an OMI sort of like wallet or like payment system on my account or on my game, then I could charge like maybe 1 OMI or like 10 OMI per play, and then some of that OMI gets burned automatically. I'm not sure if you guys would be able to provide stuff like that. That would be pretty legit. And also, I would like access to the API. If you guys,
which API?
If you guys have that open. But yeah.
Which API are you referring to?
The web API, if possible.
What
was that?
It's not available yet.
I'd like access to API as well.
Whenever it does, I'm asking, I'm here, you know what I'm saying? You guys are looking for developers to use and test that.
Know what I'm saying?
I'm ready, more than ready. So yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. That was a lot. I think, Reese, I was going to throw to you to talk about the OMI bit if you wanted to, because, it's funny enough you brought that up, because I actually had a conversation yesterday, I don't know, for 2.5 hours. But, yeah.
Well, at the end of it, yeah, that's like a Stripe or Shopify sort of plug-in is on my list of things.
Because I agree with you, it's very, very beneficial for everybody, right? Just kind of integrated and make that happen. Now, whether we kind of go out with the partner program and fund someone to build it, or we build it internally is yet to be decided. But I am on the same page with you. I think anything that opens access to that and allows people to integrate it really easily into their own marketplace or merch store or whatever it happens to be will be quite integral in spreading the awareness and adoption of the token. So yeah, I'm on it. Thank you for that.
Love that.
Yeah, it would be definitely sick. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I just have a lot, especially for like the vaults and stuff. But I'm gonna keep quiet. But yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. I love the energy and enthusiasm, man. Thanks for sharing that stuff. I think just to build on what Reese said, what part of someone right across the board. So trying to get out of the future, looking on delivering so the SD kind of technique we now also there was that
Yeah, that would be fine. As well as like keeping out of creators such as like Walterholics. I don't know about you guys. I have fat fingers on the Veve app. Like
Same.
we're on the same boat, bro. So I understand you. I'm not gonna try to build whole scenes on the app. So if I could pay Tails to build me some scenes and I could show off to some shorties, then that would be dope. Some shorties. Like, yo, look come into my crib. Tails built it, but you don't need to know that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love the kid.
I need this.
And I could pay Tails to have a little store. That's an entire business model, man. I love it.
I don't know who this kid is, but I love him.
Y'all are gonna have some business with me, dog.
Oh, I want to have a beer with this guy.
You came up here all sounding like all conservative and professional, and then drinking.
At best to stay up.
I love you, Nick. You're the best. All right, we'll keep it moving here because obviously we have a lot. So let's move on to Untitled Art.
Really quick, X, before you start, anybody that has feedback that we're not going to get to, we're not going to be able to get to everybody. There's a feedback channel. You guys can leave your feedback there, and I'll
potential humans on there too.
To the channel, and we can review that later in meetings and so forth.
Come on, bring up Veve Varsity. Bring up.
On that point, let's make sure that we are kind of focusing on new product features as opposed to like bugs and things that used to work, because I think we have most of those logged. It's always good for Mitch to hear them again. It's fairly new, but yeah, we really want to kind of focus on. So that said, excited.
Yo, good evening, gentlemen. Much love to the Veve Discord fam, Twitter fam, and Veve fam in general. I just got two for you. So, interesting idea for me and a few others would be community highlights. So basically, displayed recognition, like based on in-app achievements, such as like a user who spends 100,000 hours in their vault playing around, or a user who spends 100,000 hours in the app reading a comic, or reasonable comments like posts on the feed, or various other achievements. Something that could be displayed that would be interesting. And then what do you think about that also?
I play a lot of Warcraft when I was younger, and I was basically an achievement hunter. So it's less about it being announced to everybody for me, but more about looking at my profile and going, well, have I unlocked it? Right? And being able to say, well, yes, I have 10,000 hours vault. And expect my public profile to see that is something that appeals to me personally. So I'm thinking that that's kind of what you're thinking about too.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the game.
It's kind of behind badges and those kind of things in the MCP.
Was
so
X Idol?
I'm sure we can add that as a bit of a category there as well in terms of achievements.
Sounds good. The last thing I had was
Black D-Champ?
like a stop motion or a pause feature for animations, which we started to kind of see with the Mickey drop that was animated. But having something to where you can stop it and even maybe kind of push it forward or even rewind a little bit. Like if I got RoboCop out and I click on him and he starts spinning the firearm, and I how many times I got to do that so he don't shoot himself. You know what I'm saying? So it would just be a lot more convenient so that the community can get those perfect pictures like we know we want it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got.
So just being able to kind of build on being able to capture poses, for lack of a better word, that are valuable, so that you can create those scenes, correct? But just being able to stop it right there and then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, that's all I got. I appreciate you giving me your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks, X.
Thanks, man.
Going along with that, Mitch, also we had a suggestion yesterday, like you were saying, kind of like a skill tree.
Skill tree.
Yes. Like you could fill up the badges, that'd be cool. We have a Blackie Chan here. What's up, Chan?
Yeah, Blackie Chan.
Yo. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
What's going on? I just got a couple quick ones. I know I talked to a couple of the community members and I asked them for their inputs. And one of them specifically talking about new topics was the KYC function. And I guess it's not really like a huge, big deal, but I think some people are concerned with like non-KYC accounts getting merged, and like
we've gone over
whether or not they've bought an account, KYC, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but I'm assuming you guys have, pretty good bot protection team that's working diligently to
stop that from happening. But in those instances, is there something that's going to be put in place to prevent those types of things where, let's say the bots do get stuff and they're able to merge different accounts? How is that going to work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, but merge accounts is a limited time feature. So it's not going to be available all the time. And the reason why we kind of put it in process at this stage to ensure that there are humans, not just computer eyes, but human eyes over these requests, right? We would love to be able to open up the feature to everybody and have them just do what they want, but unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, and people exploit the stuff. So part and parcel with our kind of protection is really just to put human eyes across it. So our operations teams are looking at all these different requests at the moment, and then literally going through line by line, looking at the relationships between the requested and the beneficiary. So that should provide us with one layer. The second layer is also what I talked about in the AMA, which is we wouldn't be opening these things up from a KYC standpoint unless we are relatively confident that we have enough layers in place to be able to catch the majority of not great behaviors or people that are looking to exploit the system overall. So we think we're okay at this stage, but there's always the chance that things might go pear-shaped. So we've also built in things like being able to turn some off on pretty quickly. And those are almost like our kind of emergency stop buttons that we put in place in case we start to see trends in behaviors that we don't feel are productive.
Awesome. Sounds great. And then the next one I have is something that I use VMate, which is kind of like the market tracker app that you guys are working with. And I noticed that they updated their functionality to say that they have an auctions watch list. And they also have the comic books on that auction watch list. I know, going through the app and I'm looking at auctions, it's pretty difficult to find specific comic books that I want because I can't check if they're on auction, such as the same way we have for the collectibles. So maybe implementing something like that, because I personally use the VMate app specifically for that stuff, where I'm looking at, okay, I want this comic book, and sometimes it's super low key, which is nice because you can get good deals on low mint numbers or specific numbers that you want. So I do like that functionality. So probably if you guys can or look into that, shedding some light on the comic book auctions would be awesome.
Cool.
So and then oh yeah.
I just captured that.
Yeah, sure. And then not really the questions, but some people wanted to know some short-term goals that you have, not necessarily deadlines, but what's something that you guys are looking forward to working on and improving on in the next couple of months that we can start, be hopeful for?
Pretty good question. I might answer it slightly differently. Instead of focusing on what we might build, I'd say actually the more important short-term focus is actually building the team behind Veve in itself, because this will be the enabler that unlocks pretty much all of the entire roadmap, right? So it's not just short-term; it's happening right now, where Sylvester and myself are really focused on building the right framework, so that we can leverage the framework to hire the right people, and also kind of put in the right expectations for the team members that are currently working with us already and that will be coming on board in the future. So that's actually a very big part of the stuff that's happening right now in terms of where we're focused.
That's dope. Well, I appreciate you guys for your time. I got to get back to work, but it was awesome meeting you, Mitch. I'm glad you're part of the team. I'm looking forward to what you provide for us and, what your goals are. Reese, what's up? Alex, what's up? Eagle, shout out Eagle. Love you, fam. Catch you guys later. Thank you for having me up.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Lucky.
For your feedback.
Before we get to the Mr. McBlockchain, sort collection by recent price movement would be great. Seeing Vault jump 200 gems has me clicking all the way through my trash to find out which unicorn I went up 5 gems. So just basically sort by recent price.
Cool. I think even just being able to see the price movements
in general, right? Like you kind of see those graphs on a company wiki and these other platforms. I know eventually we want to be able to integrate that into our own platform, but yeah, I think it'd be helpful.
What up, friends? How's it going? Reese, Alex, Mitch, nice to meet you.
Hello, sir. Yep.
Yeah, Alex, yeah, Alex, you feeling okay? You sound like you might have a cold.
You know what? I had
This is embarrassing. I had Chipotle before this, and
Chipotle.
went hard on the salsa. So,
oh, snap. Okay, cool. Just given I know lots of people want to get up, so just first thing, I put it in the feedback thing, but I think with the focus, hearing from the community update, being on security, and then also the beating of the drum for interoperability, I still want true interoperability, as do a lot of people, but building out something like again, let's take some of the pressure off of like just the Veve app and the web store, and if you could build something like a Veve Connect button that could be integrated by developers, that would allow me to say make like a game, and I want to let you use your Cora, obviously the pumping Myrmicorno right now, in a game, allow users to just click the Veve Connect, log in with all of the current authorization that you guys already do, and grant access for me to kind of sniff their wallet and see what NFTs they do have or don't have. And then I can use that to build games, or use that to build applications, or use that as a token gate system for a lot of like the fan clubs and whatnot that people have kind of done, of like whether it's the partner statue or what have you. Then I can use the kind of like pseudo interoperability without having them ever leave the app. Truthfully, so people can kind of keep that in a safe haven or vault, but it allows them to kind of basically pull and see what they've got. I think that'd be really cool, and also open up a lot of fun that the community and passion can be kind of like weaponized at making use and giving more utility from the community for all their collectibles.
Probably this is probably an offline conversation.
If you want to
have a conversation with you later on to go into detail about what might require in terms of the API response.
Sure. Yeah, let's talk whenever you're ready. And then beyond that, I think it would be really cool in the market. A lot of people, especially around like pricing and whatnot, to implement like kind of like an ask and bid. So maybe it's, the floor is at a certain level, but I'm willing to pay, $10 less right now and I'll buy it. But there's no sales happening because people don't know where the difference is. You can see an example of this on like the Steam marketplace, which has been around forever. But because a lot of the collectibles are the same minus the mint number, if I don't care about the mint number, let me put a bid in. And if someone doesn't know, if the floor is the right price for them, let them put it in their ask, and then we can kind of see the difference, and that'll kind of give closer to the true value rather than just whatever the lowest collectible is priced at. It might help remove some of this like, well, the floor is here, I need to quick sell, so I'm going to drop it like $1, and people just undercut themselves, and it will let the market be a little more healthy.
Yeah. That one is also kind of in our realm of thinking. The concern that we have there is how we balance out, being flooded by bid offers versus just saying I'm open for bids.
So again, just to kind of make sure that what I'm suggesting is understood, not so much a bid for individual item, but a bid per collectible, because they're all the same NFT. And so if I want to go and buy a Buzz Lightyear, and the floor price, like the current collectible is $50, but the last one sold for $30. There's a difference there, and it's kind of stagnated. If I can put in a bid and say, oh, look, I'll buy it right now for $40, and it's out there, and you can say the current ask is $40, and then someone can say, well, the current bid is $50. There's a difference there. So then when people are going to sell, they know where that range currently is.
She's almost done. She's on stage.
He wants to upload it. So less of a direct, like, I want your number 88. I would like that too, just for the record. But more of a collectible, let me add, like, make a bid price. And then from the bids and the asks, you'll start to see, and then it'll go from there. I appreciate all of you guys. Congrats on the new branding, and I'll make way for somebody else.
Right on. Thank you, Brock.
Coming on.
All right.
Bye, Brock.
Keep it moving here. Silicon here. How are you?
Ooh, Silicon.
What's up, guys? Love the new brand. Great work. Thanks for just being amazing. Mitch, glad to have you on the team. So my suggestions are really a lot around trading, right? So specifically being able to find mint numbers, being able to communicate with different users in Veve, or have a way for them to have an official Twitter profile, so we can message each other. Being able to trade bundles like in HRO. So it's all about trading and moving collectibles where they need to go, because I think the previous person up here just mentioned. And by the way, I'm sorry I'm dry, just picking my kids from school. But the challenge is sometimes, and also transparency. Like, what was the price of the item that I'm looking at? How many times has this item been traded? Right? Maybe give me a link to the blockchain data so I can go look at it easily. So just understand how many wallets this has been through. Because I think in the future, if we fast forward years from now, that kind of information is going to determine the value of these collectibles. Just like with comic books, like the CGC, you're going to look at, okay, this is the first time it's ever been minted on the blockchain. It's been sitting in this wallet for 8 years. That has to have some value besides, there has to be other factors besides just mint number. Maybe even look at the pedigree of that collectible is, or the history, the provenance, right, of that collectible. All these factors go into account of trading. But right now, people are struggling to try to trade in the market, and they want to trade. They just don't know who to contact. They don't know who has their mints. They don't know, or what can they trade. So there's just a lot around trading that I think could be improved on, which would really help.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% wholly agree with you on that one. And this component around trading is not just only a big topic, but it's also coming into focus for us in the next short while. So this one will be something that we'll be working on pretty soon from our
people will learn to love it.
That's great. I appreciate that. I think everyone would be excited to hear that, and keep up the good work.
But can I just throw a caveat out there?
Yeah.
They're not that change.
Irony in the word soon. Not putting deadlines, not giving time frames, but it is the next thing in priority for us. I want to try and make that pretty clear.
You don't have to level set that. You don't have to level set that with me. I've been a user since March 21, so I know.
No, I'm just using the public forum to do that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you guys and all your hard work. I see it coming together. I'm super excited, and keep it up.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Eva.
University.
Hey guys, thanks for having me up. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Welcome.
Thanks. So my suggestion is a little more in regards to the user experience. I think this could be a very simple fix. So Veve collectors are from all over the world. There's some people that wake up at 2, 3 a.m. to do drops. A lot of people also do drops while at work. And I noticed that very often you don't get a notification when your collectible is delivered. So you have to check your app, go in and out many, many times after the drop, because you also, you want to sell your collectible at the current price. So we don't have any way to see when our collectible is delivered. So a simple notification would go such a long way, just like the notifications that we receive when we get an airdrop, for example. It says Veve gifted you a collectible. It would be a very good thing to have that for the collectibles that we purchased on the market. On the drop. And another suggestion that is very similar to the first one, but I also think that this would make the user experience that much better, especially for users who are very active on the market, is having a notification when you make a sale. So Veve is a marketplace at the end of the day, and if you look at other marketplaces like eBay, Etsy, Amazon, for example, when you sell something, you always get a notification. And I don't know if you know what notification I'm talking about, but it's that cha-ching noise that shows that you made a sale. So I think
assuming you're in app,
yeah. So I think that would go a long way. Like I said, especially for people that are very active on the market. Yeah, that's about it.
That's really good. Thanks for that. I can talk to that also.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye, Eva.
All right. Let's see. We got Boogie up. How you doing, Boogie?
Boogie.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me? Oh, you got kind of low. I don't know if me and Tels got the same problem.
I think she was talking about a sound though, Justin.
What's going on,
Like a
Reese?
sound
Alex,
notification.
Mitch, what's up, Eagle? What's going on, baby? All right. I just had a little issue just with how, like, I know we wasn't supposed to talk about bugs, but this has been bothering me for some time. So I have to say, and I'm a comic guy, so
Oh, not the cha-ching noise?
comics that I own, every time I refresh it, it takes away my comics. It'll do it by random.
Okay, they're talking about a bug that. Okay, hang on. Because I mean, for me, I do get a little notification like that'll say my item sold. What? Maybe I misheard. Eva, my bad.
Close the app in order to get them back. So even if I back out, go to the home store, anything else, it would just say off of my copies. So that was just something because I know that can be a user issue. Also, when I click my now, I know this has happened for a couple people that have more than several comics. I have like 3.8 thousand comics. So when I go to my profile, it takes literally like 20 minutes to load any information on my profile. So I just didn't know if anybody would. I know a couple guys that have a lot of things been experiencing those type of problems, and just wanted to make that aware because it's been this way for some time now. So just wanted to get that clear up. And one suggestion, if you don't have it,
There will be, Frank. There will be.
Didn't know this is happening.
I'm so hungry.
Okay.
When it comes to refreshing, and your comic tabs actually remove the comics, even though they're still there, theoretically, they're not there physically for you reset the application. So this one's interesting. I didn't know what this was.
Okay, good. So I'm just trying to
profile information one. The profile information one is also interesting. That's mental load. So this is just overall infrastructure performance. Or step in the logic collection.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed it wasn't like when we were in California when I'm trying to load my page up and Alex was screaming out numbers, who has this, and I couldn't get mine to load. So, that could just be an issue later on down the road.
If there were multiple of Dashi. Yeah.
But just
Gotta be
one more
multiple.
thing for comics of suggestion. A lot of people since DC came out, they have like a reader that basically lets you, and I'm pretty sure you heard this, the tabs and the panels and the comics. So I would like to see that actually, so we can squash that DC thing and leapfrog that. If we could get that AR as just because I read mine, like I know a lot of people don't read, but I have to shrink the book down really small, and me and my daughters will look at it that way, so we can kind of like see almost the full page. But going by each panel would be really nice, and if you can add that to the AR, I think that would. Instead of moving our phone around, my daughters are young, so it's kind of hard to track the book sometimes. If we can get it to like do the panel thing, and also just like it just kind of keeps it more clean. So that would just be my thing. So that's a good thing.
Be advised, Veve and Omi are different. They are obviously tied to each other, but they're not going to talk about Omi usually on a Veve update. They did mention OUP though.
It's fine. Don't know about that.
I'll look around. I just kind of was thinking about that because I was just like, I don't think anybody has that at all. Let alone the AR feature that we have. But if we could like really like blow it out of the water and get that in AR2, that would be great. So.
No, I agree. I've tried to read a few comics in AI, and sometimes I think that they're fat. They touch the panel and the whole thing just goes away, and I can't find the comic anymore. So I do share that.
False. We funded Veve by buying Veve collectibles, not Omi.
Right. Super stuff.
Ooh, super Superstar.
Hey guys. Hey. I got a question for you regarding the future of Veo. I know we got Veo back with Wire. Everybody knows you ran that poll about if people would prefer a different provider or if they were to go with Wire. Obviously, simplest fix
Yes, it is. Right. Please stop spreading misinformation.
But I think the results of that poll shows that there's a lot of hesitancy from the VV fam and the community. Just wanted to know if there are plans to have multiple payout providers, just to give that extra security for the rest of the community. And that's
Great
that's
question.
Great question. Answer is yes. It's never a good idea for us to silo ourselves to a single payment provider or a single service provider. The challenge that we're looking at here is picking the right one and making sure that we're able to provide the options that people are from a payout point of view. So this is definitely in review. We are in conversations with our partners already. And it's just to be clear, we're not looking to replace Wire, we're looking to augment one option people select.
There you go, Harish. Also, be advised that there was a small group of maybe a dozen or so people that bought OMI on an ICO that did help fund Veve, but the majority of people that are buying OMI are just buying it for utility, for investment. Most everyone that's buying OMI, that is not going to fund Veve. So please do not spread misinformation.
All right, cool. Yeah, we got BK here. Thank you, Superstar Money. Yeah, I'll get a couple more up here. What's up, BK?
BK, how are you?
BK. BK? BK. BK's gone. We got rugged.
All right.
No BK. They have you're gonna have a couple of choices.
Let's go emoji first.
Oh, my bad. My speaker wasn't working. I don't know why. I did talk about phone now. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. You can emoji.
Okay.
I was waiting for a musical intro, to be honest.
All right, you're out of here, buddy.
No, I'm not gonna sing. We'll do that tomorrow. But okay. So I have a question about and it's vault related. So here's for me, like, the biggest thing or biggest pull that I would have would like kind of get interest when I'm showing it to people. And, showing them like, oh, like, you can set up this and walking through it. And I find that's like one of the biggest draws that kind of like gets people's attention and gets them to download the app. Now, the issue that I've been having is, because when accessing your collectibles, it's pretty much like a straight line of the collectibles. And you have to kind of like load every time you want to go to another batch of them. And after a while, the whole app will just crash. Meaning I can't access the older collectibles that I have, like if I want to display them or put them in a room, which kind of has like deterred me from even making the showrooms, because it's like now I'm limited where I can only, use newer collectibles where I may want to use something that's older. Is there anything like on the pipeline of kind of like making either grouping collectibles, maybe if you have like a Marvel section or something like that, something to make, collectibles easier to find, or also just even more accessible so that way, you can kind of pinpoint whatever you're trying to use in setting up your vault?
This is a very similar problem to the one Claire had.
Okay.
So this is a very similar problem to the problem that she identified.
Okay, so same thing with Claire. I'm not going to ask him a question. Anytime I want to ask, I can just ask. What was the OMI is the future?
Raised as an issue, a usability issue. We'll probably start looking into it in the short wee while.
OMI is on about 4 exchanges, so they're not going to know what it is, but they will.
This is something that is probably going to be a very common.
Someone's kids on it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. All right. Thank you. That was it. Thank you.
Emoji.
Thanks, Emoji.
Right.
Bye, Emoji.
Let's go to T. Hodlin.
All right, this will be the last
Hello,
one
can you hear me?
because I got to bounce.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys for coming and do this. First off, just maybe a recommendation that when we do these moving forward,
It's in the top 200.
necessarily ever come out or have a voice or channel or a project that have thousands of viewers or followers. Just scrolling down, we've been on for a long time, and I've watched a number of people who wanted to come up who just eventually dropped out. Or
I mean, do you want to buy it when everyone knows what it is and the price is pumped up like 30x? Or do you want to buy it now?
And some of them have good ideas, and so it seems to be hard for them. Maybe we can get them up earlier, and some of the people who we already know and love, maybe a little later. And quick question regarding Veveverse. Question regarding development of IP lands or regions.
Oh, all right.
When we get going,
Listen to this.
will we have it where Veve will develop, for example, Marvel area or region, or are we gonna have it where Marvel or Disney use their developers or designers to develop those areas?
It's a little early to tell on that. Unfortunately, that's more of a Dan question. And also, we want to make sure that we focus the questions here on your ideas for future features and functionality. So,
one reason I asked that is because I had an idea, but it wouldn't really make sense if like everything they're doing it versus us. So that's kind of why I asked that. But I'll have to wait till we get some more clarification on that. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, well, we'll work on that. I think we're working towards having a Veveverse specific kind of Q&A session as Dan kind of works through on getting closer to the onboarding of the home spaces you want. So stay tuned for that. We'll get to it.
All right, thank you.
All right, D-Roy. Roy.
All right, you got to take a look at CoinGecko because CoinGecko is a lot more accurate than CoinMarketCap. And then you have to go to the second page.
Good. Can you hear me all right? Yep. Cool. So the thing I was wondering is, now that you guys have
152.
the burn section for collectibles, would it be possible to do a similar thing with lock items in like the band account?
Oh. Hey guys, I do have to bounce, so I'm gonna X out of this, and then I'll finish these comments. I gotta run. Almost 8 years in crypto. Want to find some small coins. Finally gets noticed. The rocket ship takes off quick. Make sure your bags are packed now. Yep, agreed. Yeah, probably as well. Hot 200 coin. Yeah. Always, like I said, 152. We have the Harish S. And Harish S. How's it going? Saying Bitcoin or ETH is not going to make you rich. You need something like going with eventual 1,000x. I mean, it depends on what you define as rich. Depends how much you go and invest into it. So, it really kind of depends there. Now, market has, yeah, they're big cap and collectibles. Might even pump before. Yeah, collectibles probably will, especially with the rollout of MCP. So stacking common, low min collectibles now. Trade for only be a strategy too. That's what I'm doing. Partially. I think they have ERC20 OMI and GoChain OMI listed separately. So that's yeah. GoChain OMI, ignore those. Good vibes. Yeah, don't invest. All right, I gotta bounce. I love you all. Goodbye. End broadcast. Bye, Dashi.